What's going on, guys? Today's video, we are discussing the black magic behind the torque converter and what is going to be the best stall speed for you. And guys, if you are new here to the channel, please consider subscribing. Of course, it helps grow our channel here, and I also want to get some feedback from you guys on what you guys would like to see featured here. So let's just go ahead and let's just jump into the video right now. Let's discuss torque converters and why you would even want to raise the stall speed of your torque converter. So in an OEM application, typically the RPM range of a OEM converter is 1800 to 2000 RPM. This is done for probably two things, maybe more, but the two main things: driver comfort. 99% of the world does not want some high stall speed converter. They want that driver comfort, something low stall when they accelerate from a stoplight. Also, for fuel efficiency, so the lower the RPM, the less fuel you burn, the less fuel you burn. Obviously, for today's carbon emission standards, very, very important. So if you decide that you do want to go ahead and raise that stall speed, what that will do for you is get you to a point where your acceleration will be in a better torque curve or your power area. So for like a towing application, which I would consider to probably be like the next segment or step up from an OEM application, probably about 2800 RPM stall speed is probably the most I would go for a towing application. The higher a stall speed, the more heat that generates, and obviously with more heat, that is a transmission killer. So we want to keep that in check, especially in a towing application. The next segment up from towing is going to be probably that 3000 to 3600 RPM area. This is going to be where you're going to find most of your, average type street cars. A very good area where you'll actually start seeing some pretty significant changes maybe in your 60 foot at the racetrack. So if you've got a typical, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 horsepower street car, that's probably where you're going to want to stay if you still want to retain some of that street comfort. From there, we can start moving up the spectrum a little bit. You can start getting to that 4000 to 4500 RPM stall speed. On a regular street car, this is where you are going to start seeing some of that typical driver comfort start going away. You are going to notice when you leave stoplights and stop signs, there is going to be some significant slip there. So that's something that you're just going to have to figure out if you're willing to compromise some drivability for some ET at the racetrack. Obviously, this depends on how much you drive your car. The next thing that you need to consider, especially when you start getting into like camshaft changes, is a lot of times when you do change camshafts, that's going to move your power band up. So instead of what may have been a 3400 to 6000 RPM window is now going to go to a 4500 to 7500 RPM window. When you do that, you will need to change a stall speed to go with that. So guys, a lot of this torque converter building is going to be based off of weight of the car, gear ratio, power you're making, camshaft, and what RPM that power makes. So consider this kind of a package thing. Really need to have the engine side of things dialed in to know what sort of stall speed you're gonna do for your torque converter. I'm going to encourage you to never buy an off the shelf, out of the box converter. That may get you close, and if you talk with a good torque converter company of your choosing, they'll probably recommend something that may be on the shelf that they know will be close for your application. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna recommend you guys go and spec you out a custom built converter. A lot of times they have a worksheet that's gonna list all your information of your car, what your application is, and what you're gonna be doing with it. That's truly going to give you the best performance if that's what's going to be most important to you. So guys, I hope this information is helpful. There's obviously a lot more to this, but just want to give you a kind of a little short summary as to why you would want to change your torque converter. And again, a lot of times in a drag racing world, ET wise, I mean, you could knock 3/10 off easy just in the 60 foot. Which, if you can pick up 3/10 in the 60 foot, that's going to be a lot more at the quarter-mile mark. So guys, I hope you find this information helpful. If you'd like me to expand on this further, drop a comment down below and let me know. Obviously, we're also going to have our social media links down in the description. And as always, guys, appreciate you watching. We'll catch you later.